Welcome back, everybody. We're going to do a deep dive today into some really fascinating tech news that's kind of shaking things up in the business world.
Yeah.
We want to talk about Microsoft's 2024 Release Wave 2.
Oh, okay.
It's basically a huge AI upgrade that they're making across their whole suite of business software.
Yeah.
So think about it like this. Hundreds of new AI features, all called Copilot, being rolled out to like sales, customer service, finance, even app development. It's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
And get this, over 2.1 million people are already using these Copilot tools every month.
Wow.
That's a pretty big number, don't you think?
That is a massive number. And it really shows, just how much things are changing.
Yeah.
It's not just about the raw numbers, though. When you look at who's using these tools, companies like PayPal and McKinsey, it kind of tells you that this is not a fad.
Right.
This is a major shift towards what Microsoft's calling the AI-first organization.
AI-first organization. What does that even mean for someone who's trying to, understand all this stuff?
That's a good question. Think of it like this. It's a workplace where you've got humans, you've got AI assistants like this Copilot, and then even more autonomous AI agents that can kind of work on their own.
Oh, interesting.
All working together. They're kind of bringing together the strengths of both humans and AI to create a truly collaborative ecosystem.
So it's not about replacing jobs with robots. It's about using AI to make those jobs
That's the idea.
more efficient and maybe more interesting.
Absolutely. You want to free up those humans from doing those tedious tasks, the repetitive stuff, so they can focus on the strategy, the creativity, building those human connections that AI can't replicate.
Right. Makes sense. So let's get into some specifics. One area that really caught my eye was the customer experience, especially for global businesses. Microsoft's Dynamics 365 customer service platform now has these multilingual bots. I got to admit, I was a little skeptical at first, but it sounds like they've figured out real-time language translation. For customer service...
Yeah, they're doing some pretty remarkable things. These bots can actually understand a customer's question in their native language, translate it, process it, and then respond. All in that same language.
Wow.
And they're doing it in real time.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a game changer for companies that are operating in multiple countries, especially if they haven't been able to offer truly personalized support, because of language barriers.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it's not just about understanding different languages. They're also doing these Copilot-generated prompts for customer service reps. What are those?
So imagine this. You're a customer service rep. You're dealing with a really tricky situation.
Right.
You're not quite sure what to say next.
Yeah.
These AI-powered prompts can actually give you real-time suggestions, guidance, so you always have the right words.
Interesting.
Right at your fingertips.
It's like having a little angel on your shoulder.
Exactly. It takes the stress out of those tough conversations.
Right. Instead of replacing the human, it's more like having an expert kind of whispering in your ear.
Yeah, like a coach.
Guiding you along.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that Lincoln Co., this innovative car company, they've integrated these tools.
They have.
And seen a big decrease in their case review times.
Yeah, they're resolving those issues much faster. So
I'm curious, what kind of impact is this having on their sales team?
Oh, it's huge. Because they've got such a smooth flow of information between service and sales, any insights, any issues that come up during those customer service interactions are immediately shared with the sales team.
Oh, that's smart.
So sales managers are much more informed. They can anticipate problems, and they can really focus on building those strong customer relationships.
So it's a win-win for the customer and the company.
Definitely.
So we've talked about customer service. What about all those back-end processes that keep a business running?
Yeah.
I'm thinking specifically about enterprise resource planning, or ERP as it's known.
ERP.
What's happening on that front?
So ERP is another area where Microsoft's making big strides with AI. And this is where those autonomous agents really come into play.
Oh, so this is where it gets interesting.
Think of them as highly specialized digital assistants, dedicated to very specific areas of your business.
Like little robots running around.
Yeah, but good robots.
Good robots. Okay, so give me an example, how one of these autonomous agents would work within a company's financial systems.
Okay, so take the new account reconciliation agent for Dynamics 365 Finance. This agent automatically scans through financial data, looking for any kind of discrepancies or errors.
So like an auditor.
Yeah, it's like having a super meticulous auditor
Yeah.
working 24/7,
Right.
checking for things like mismatched invoices,
Yeah.
incorrect data entries, anything that could mess up your financial records.
So it's like a second set of eyes, but eyes that never get tired
Right.
and never miss a detail. It's
Exactly.
kind of amazing. But are we seeing companies actually benefiting from this yet?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's not just theory. Lifetime Products, a big consumer goods manufacturer, they've implemented this account reconciliation agent,
Mm-hmm.
and they've seen a huge boost in their finance team's productivity.
So instead of spending hours on spreadsheets, they can focus on bigger picture stuff.
Yeah, things like strategic planning and analysis.
That's a pretty big shift.
Absolutely.
I'm guessing this kind of AI help isn't limited to just finance departments, right?
Oh, you're right. The possibilities are pretty broad. Microsoft's also made some cool updates to their Power Platform, which is basically a set of tools designed to make it easier for anyone, even people without coding experience.
Wait, even people who don't know how to code.
That's the idea,
Okay.
to automate workflows and even build custom apps.
Well, hold on. So we have people who don't know how to code building apps now.
It sounds kind of crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. How
Oh.
is that even possible?
So Copilot basically acts as a guide and assistant. Throughout the process, it helps you define the workflow, build the logic behind the app, and even design the user interface.
So it's like having a developer sitting next to you,
Yeah, basically
holding your hand.
helping you avoid all the pitfalls.
Okay, so let me get this straight. If I wanted to create an app, that app automatically tracked my team's project deadlines
Yeah.
and sent out reminders, I could theoretically do that with Copilot, even if I have zero coding experience.
You got it. And there's a great example of this in action. Applied Information Sciences, or AIS, they've used these Power Platform tools with Copilot to completely automate their vendor invoice management process.
Okay.
So they're handling a massive amount of invoices with incredible efficiency and accuracy,
Wow.
all thanks to AI.
So they've gone from a process that was probably super time-consuming
Yeah.
and error-prone to like the sleek AI-powered system.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I'm sure they didn't stop there. Have they found other ways to use these tools?
Oh, yeah, they have. They're also using Copilot to streamline their consultant onboarding process.
Okay.
So new hires can fill out forms, access training materials, get up to speed much faster,
So saving time, reducing headaches. Absolutely.
making a better first impression on their new hires.
Yeah.
That's great. It's pretty amazing to see how this one company, AIS, is using AI to change so many parts of their business.
Yeah, they're a great case study.
But, we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, for sure.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, and it gets really interesting when we look at how Microsoft is tailoring these Copilot features to specific job roles within Microsoft 365.
Right.
Like sales teams, for example.
Okay, salespeople armed with AI, what does that even look like?
So they're using it to research potential leads faster, prioritize their efforts based on real data insights, and even craft those more compelling sales pitches.
Sounds good in theory, but are we seeing real results?
We are. Lumen, a big telecom company, saw a 94% reduction in research time for sales data after implementing these Copilot features.
94%, that's huge.
It's massive.
I imagine that frees up their salespeople to actually spend time building relationships,
Right.
understanding their clients' needs,
Yeah.
closing more deals. It's about working smarter, not harder.
So a really strategic use of AI.
For sure.
What about customer service teams? How are they using Copilot?
So for customer service, it's all about providing faster, more personalized support
Mm-hmm.
while also reducing the overall workload on human agents.
Right.
So Copilot can take care of those routine inquiries and then free up the human agents to focus on those more complex issues that need that human touch.
Makes sense. So happier customers, less stressed out reps.
That's the goal.
What other departments are seeing big changes because of these AI tools?
Well, finance teams are another one. AI is automating tasks like payroll processing
Mm-hmm.
and invoice reconciliation.
Right.
So finance professionals can focus on more strategic stuff.
Yeah.
Budgeting, forecasting, analysis.
So it's taking over the boring stuff.
Exactly.
The stuff nobody wants to do.
Leaving them free to do
Yeah.
the more interesting parts of their work.
Do you have any examples of companies that are actually doing this?
Yeah, Genpact, a global professional services firm, reported a 50% time reduction in payroll processing after they implemented Microsoft 365 Copilot for finance.
50%?
That's a big number.
It's a huge number. That must be having a ripple effect
Oh, for sure.
across their entire finance department, making them more efficient, more strategic, and probably more accurate, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really remarkable to see how these real-world results are aligning with Microsoft's vision of the AI-first organization. It's not just a buzzword, it's actually happening.
It is. It's a real shift.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of feels like we're at the dawn of the internet again.
Yeah.
Everyone knew it was going to be big back then.
Yeah.
But nobody could have predicted just how much it would change everything.
All right.
I think AI feels kind of similar. It has the potential to have an even bigger impact on the way we live and work.
It's pretty mind-boggling. It's like we need a new playbook for everything,
Right.
how we work, how we learn, even how we interact with technology.
Absolutely. And that's why I think these conversations are so important.
Yeah.
We need to understand these changes, explore all the possibilities, and figure out how to adapt. If we want to thrive in this new AI-driven world, it's not about being afraid of the unknown. It's about embracing it.
So let's break it down for our listener. What are the key takeaways here?
Okay, so first off, Microsoft is all in on AI. They're not just testing the waters. They're diving headfirst into this AI revolution.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing the impact
Yeah.
across tons of industries and job roles.
Yeah, it's not just hype. We're seeing real results. Companies becoming way more efficient, employees being able to focus on more strategic and creative work, and customers having better experiences.
Exactly. And that brings us to the second takeaway, this move towards the AI-first organization. It's something we all need to be thinking about,
Right.
no matter what industry you're in or what your job is.
Yeah, AI is not just for tech companies anymore.
It's becoming the foundation of modern business.
So whether you're in sales or customer service, finance, marketing, whatever,
Yeah.
you got to start thinking about how AI can help you do your job better.
For sure. And the third key takeaway, it's at the speed of innovation in AI. It's only getting faster.
Right.
What we're seeing today is really just the beginning.
Yep.
As AI technology keeps evolving, we're going to see even more crazy applications and use cases. It's a really exciting time to be following all of this.
It's like riding a wave. You can either learn to surf it and harness its power, or you can risk getting swept away and left behind.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And it highlights a really important point. This isn't just happening to us. We all have a role to play in shaping the future of AI. We need to be curious, ask questions, experiment, and embrace all the possibilities.
Right.
Fear and hesitation are only going to hold us back.
So instead of being afraid of AI, we should be excited about it. Excited about its potential to change things for the better, to make our work, our lives, our world better.
Right.
It's a tool.
Exactly.
And it's a tool.
But it's a tool that needs to be used responsibly.
Right.
We need to be mindful of the challenges.
Yeah, like what kinds of challenges?
Well, things like bias in algorithms, data privacy issues, the potential impact on jobs.
Right.
These are all conversations we need to be having
For sure.
as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
We can't just blindly adopt AI without thinking about the consequences.
Exactly.
But if we're open and honest, if we have those tough conversations, and we create ethical frameworks for AI development,
Yeah.
and we make sure everyone benefits.
And we can mitigate the risks
Yeah.
and use AI for good.
So it's a shared responsibility.
Absolutely.
We need to work together
Yeah.
to make sure AI is a force for positive change.
And that starts with education, awareness,
Oh,
and a willingness to embrace change.
right.
We need to equip ourselves with the knowledge and skills to thrive in this new AI-driven world.
Okay, so for our listener who's just heard all this about Microsoft's AI revolution, what's the one question they should be asking themselves right now?
I think the most important question is, how is all of this going to affect your industry or even your specific job in the next few years?
Yeah.
It's about looking ahead, anticipating the changes, and getting ready for the future of work.
And it's not just about learning new technical skills.
No.
It's about developing the right mindset
Right.
and being adaptable in a world where technology is always changing.
You nailed it. We're talking about skills like critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, and the ability to learn and adapt quickly. Those are the skills that are going to be in high demand in the AI-powered future.
So it's not about competing with AI. It's about figuring out how to work with it,
Right.
to use its strengths, while also bringing your own unique human skills to the table.
Exactly. It's about creating a partnership between humans and machines,
Yeah.
each contributing their best to achieve something amazing.
And that partnership has a potential to unlock some incredible things,
Oh, for sure.
like solving really complex global challenges, or even creating entirely new industries
Well,
and ways of working.
We're on the verge of something truly transformative.
So where do we go from here? What's the next step for our listener? Who wants to stay ahead of the curve and be a part of this AI revolution?
I think the key is to stay curious.
Yeah.
And never stop learning.
Right.
Explore all the resources out there. Go to industry events. Connect with experts in the field. And play around with the AI tools that are already available.
It's about being proactive and not being afraid to jump in and get your hands dirty.
For sure.
The more you experiment and explore, the more comfortable you'll become with AI.
And remember, this is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
The world of AI is constantly changing. The best way to stay ahead is to embrace continuous learning.
So it's not about mastering everything overnight. It's about having a curious mindset.
Exactly.
And a willingness to adapt as the technology changes.
With the right mindset and a thirst for knowledge, anyone can be a part of this AI revolution and come out the other side stronger and smarter.
So to wrap up part 2 of our deep dive into Microsoft's AI revolution, I think the message is pretty clear. The future is here, it's powered by AI, and it's full of possibilities. Yeah, it feels like we're at the edge of a really big shift, not just in technology, but in how we work, solve problems, even how we think creatively.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
We're seeing those lines blur.
Yeah.
Between what we can do and what AI can do. And the crazy part is, this is only the beginning.
Right. And thinking back to that internet analogy, it's hard to believe that we'd be ordering groceries online or having virtual meetings or carrying around tiny computers in our pockets.
It's wild.
You know what seems mind-blowing now might be totally normal in a few years.
Absolutely. And that's why we got to approach this whole AI thing with curiosity and an open mind.
Yeah.
Instead of being scared.
Right.
We need to be part of shaping this future.
Not just letting it happen to us.
Yeah, exactly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, what's the one thing you want our listener to remember?
That's a good question, I'd say. Don't just sit on the sidelines.
Right.
Get in the game.
Yeah.
Be a part of creating this future that AI is making possible. The tools are out there. There are so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And the potential to do good is huge.
It's all about embracing the change, staying curious, and never stopping learning.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
You know, the world of AI is always changing.
Always.
The best way to keep up is to be a part of it.
To be a part of that evolution.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. It's been a really fascinating conversation.
I've enjoyed it.
Me too. And for everyone listening, thanks for tuning into our deep dive into the Microsoft's AI revolution. We'll catch you next time for another exploration of the ideas and innovations that are shaping our world